Here's what's interesting. So Zillow is so sure that the U.S. home price have bottomed that they just issued a bullish calls. What I want to get to down here is it not this article? Maybe it's the next article is going to look at, but they're looking at all the markets that are next year or by the end of this year, they're looking at going over 6%. And guess what market they added in there? The Austin market. Look, they're saying that the Austin market's going to appreciate another 6.4%. Now, the big thing here is that interest rates right now, and I have an article for this, interest rates are at 7.2% right now. You know, like Visalia, California, where I'm from, they're predicting that it's going to go over almost 8.5% increase. Tyler, Texas, they're looking at 9% increase. But Fresno, California, I would not want to move back to Fresno, California for my life, but they're saying it's going to be up 7%. Now, but why is that? And that is because you're looking at interest rates right now are 7.2%. But here's the crazy thing is that Goldman Sachs is saying interest rates will hit an average into 2024 at 5.9%. The National Association of Realtors at 6%. Morgan Stanley is saying that interest rates are going to be, will start 2024 at 6%. Imagine a percent lower. That's going to drop that, what Aaron was saying earlier, $1,600 extra for property down, probably $700 down from that. So that's a pretty big drop in that. Moody's Analytics is saying that they're going to be 6% and then 5.5 into 2025. And that goes back to Aaron's point. Aaron's saying hold out till 2025. What's going to happen though when we get to 2025 and these interest rates drop back down to 5.5? Do we see prices start going up? That's going to be the question. You know, a lot of people in the last week's video said, okay, well, you have jobs coming down. You have a lot of these things. The Austin market, we still haven't seen the jobless claims increase yet. I'll keep an eye on it. I look at the Y charts for that. So when I see a change in that, I will definitely add that in there. Yet we are seeing a lot of companies lay off, but we are seeing a lot of people go into different jobs in different fields. Ian and I talked about that last week. But what do you think about this? What do you think about the fact that Fannie Mae is saying that they're going to be, and Fannie Mae is probably the highest right here. Realtor.com is saying 6.1 will start 2024. Fannie Mae is saying that they're going to start at 6.4. I find that hard to believe. You tell me if you find that hard to believe. And I want to know if you find that hard to believe, because right now, interest rates are at 7.16%. They're not low. I mean, that's the highest they've been in a long time. What this says, weekly mortgage demand drops again as interest rates match a 22-year high. 22 years. And that puts us back to what? I can't even do math. 2021, interest rates are at 2021 levels, but at 2023 prices. Would you wait till 2025 to refinance out of 6.5%? I would say you definitely need to see where prices go. I mean, you're at 6.25 right now. I don't think that you're going to get a refi below 6.25 unless you're really buying down the rate. So I would probably, if you can swing the mortgage, I would probably wait to see what rates do, because as they fall, you're going to see people refinance and lenders are going to be happy all over again, because lenders have not been that happy. Aaron says, I think rates will drop in 2024. We'll see what the Fed does. I mean, it's up to the Fed. The Fed is the one that keeps raising rates when we are where we are. The jobless claims, all that stuff, the CPI keeps coming out. I mean, here's the problem right now is that there's so much information to intake and so much information that it's actually available. If you think about the difference between now and 2008, there was very few people speculating a crash. And the reason why is they didn't have all the information. None of this stuff was as readily available as it is now. So you have so many YouTubers out there, regardless of what they're saying, giving out information. So many more articles are coming out and people are able to regurgitate that. So we're seeing a lot more information. Does this put paralysis into people to stop buying? Does this put the fear into people to buy? You tell me. But as a result, demand for home buyers was essentially flat week to week and 26% lower the same week of a year ago. The adjustable rate share of those applications did rise slightly as ARM loans offer slightly lower rates. So you can do ARMs. This is one thing I think that, I mean, if you're looking at an ARM can be a good thing, yet that ARMs and these adjustable rate mortgages is what got a lot of people in trouble in 2008. So I would be very careful about doing a 2-1. So if we do think that rates are going to come down to 5.5% by 2022, it's up to you. Do you do a 2-year ARM thinking to refi in a couple of years? What are your thoughts? So one thing that's really interesting is that I keep hearing people say that they are going to go buy foreclosures, or they want to buy a foreclosure, or that, with interest rates being this high that we're delinquent. Here's from, and I'm a big fan of Mortgage Bankers Association. They're very data analytical driven. So the delinquency rate for mortgage loans on 1 to 4 unit residential properties decreased to a seasonal adjusted rate of 3.37% of all loans outstanding at the end of the third quarter 2023. According to Mortgage Banker Association National Delinquency Survey, I'm not even on here. There we go. The delinquency rate was down 19 basis points from first quarter 2023 and down 27 basis points from 1 year ago. Percentage of loans on which foreclosure auctions were started in the second quarter fell by 3 basis points. So this is pretty interesting, is that what you're seeing on the chart here, everybody anticipated that we're going to see a huge increase in delinquencies and foreclosures. Yeah, here's the during the pandemic, here's pre-pandemic, we're back at pre-pandemic levels. So, and you had a ton of sales. So we might see, I have a feeling that this will bounce back up for sure. I think once you see more people lose their jobs, once you see more of this, and if we do hit this recession, that more people are now seeing us hitting this recession that is coming soon. I think you will probably see a few more of this hit. Where that goes, I don't know, but I don't think it's going to be this skyrocketing foreclosure, because people that bought loans, especially in 2020, 2021, we talked about the golden handcuff. You're at 2.5% interest rate. Why would you let that go? That's really hard to do. You could almost rent that property out because you have a 2.5% interest rate. And that's what Aaron has been saying too. One more thing on here. Compared to last quarter, the seasonal adjusted mortgage delinquency rate decreased for all loans outstanding by stage of a 30-day delinquency rate decreased 2 basis points. So the question here is, do you really think, based on this information that the Mortgage Broker Association put out, that we are seeing a wave of foreclosures coming? I want to hear from you in the comments, because this is something I think a lot of people are waiting for, right? When they hear crash, they hear foreclosures, they hear auctions, they think of 2008. If we are getting close to this, whatever crash is, or the bottom of the market. Now, Austin does have a lot of inventory at the moment, so that is something to think about. The other thing to think about is I've shown several articles where the state of Texas and Austin, the amount of people that are equity rich in their property, it's huge. It was like 64% the last time we looked. So you have a lot of equity rich people. Now, what that means though, is that if, let's say you have, and 35% of homes are owned pure out cash. 30 to 35% of homeowners own their home free and clear. So why would they sell? On top of that, if you have a low interest rate, rent that property out. So this might see a decrease in the amount of inventory going forward, but I think what we will see overall is towards the end of this year, we're going to see a lot of inventory drop off in the Austin area. It's what happens because people want to put their home back on the market. These equity rich sellers are going to go, wait, I'm just going to put my house back on the market in April of next year and collect that sweet, sweet dollars, because right now it doesn't make sense to sell. Thanks for watching this short of the Real Amigos podcast. For more live streams, hit here. For more clips, hit here. We'll catch you on the next one.